So hey guys, welcome back to the another session by Azure Developer Community. Today we'll be having the session on basics of cloud computing, and today we have with us Mr. Sarvanan Ganeshan, who is a very expert in the field of cloud computing, and he's having a very high experience in this field. So he'll be one of the perfect persons to teach you about these things. So over to you, sir. Please.
Yes, Varun. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and it's been a great pleasure for me to share my experience with the participants who have been joined here. Actually, yeah. If you see, actually, nowadays we have a lot of good technologies are booming around our IT sector. In that, one of it thing is the cloud computing. Without the cloud computing, now the other technologies actually which have been booming is AI will it's making it and it's not making it happen actually. And then if you see, cloud computing plays a very important role in all of these technologies by by connecting them together in the phase of transfer of data, and then actually um, splitting up of the servers in the cloud, etc. So the regarding these things only we are going to see in today's session. I am sharing my screen. Yeah, once it's visible, please let me know. Actually, okay. It's my screen is visible. I hope so for everyone. And then actually, if you see today in today's session, we are going to see about what are the concepts we can have in the cloud. Actually, like why we want to go to cloud, and what are what is maybe cloud computing, and what are the benefits if you are going to cloud and all, and what is the difference between the cloud and in on-premise servers actually. And then actually we are going to see about the cloud important cloud models like a public, private, and hybrid, and which one to choose for your project in your organization based upon your client requirements. And then actually if you see next we are going to see about the cloud services. What are the types of cloud services we have in this cloud computing, like IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS, and actually what's sharing responsibility among them, and which service will suit you better actually if you are choosing a particular service for your project. And this kind of topics will be discussed in today's session. And after discussing these things, I will yeah, also will go around with some hands-on to create a virtual machine in the Azure cloud, and then actually from then onwards we can wind up the session. Okay, this is the plan we have now for this session, and then we'll be slowly moving to the topics now, like yeah. First of all, actually, you tell me in 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 the older days, actually, if you see in a particular yeah, office who is maintaining some data and then everything, they will be using the file systems actually. Okay, so huge number of the file systems are maintained, and later that thing has moved to the data, the storage. Into devices, they started storing the data, like floppy disk and this CDs, etc. And then actually evolution started actually that storing of data into the server actually. So it's kind of the rack server kind of thing. It's nothing but a server which runs 24 bar 7, which stores all your organization data. Okay, but if you see, if I use this server actually for 24 bar 7, the maintenance, the infrastructure cost, and then technical cost, everything will come up in a highway actually. And it has some limited storage capacity like 10 TB or 15 TB, then like that actually. But to overcome these hurdles only, for past 10 years or 12 years actually, there is a revolution in the in the data storage part, and uh, the mm, getting the help from or using these softwares from the cloud based on reduce as you go, pay as you go, like that and all actually. So for yeah, for the past 10 to 12 years actually, the things has been changed. And now actually so to overcome these hurdles of infrastructure and then um, maintenance of your the DAC service, which is storing your bulks of TBs of the data of your organization. We nowadays in organizations are moved to the cloud actually. Okay, so what is the benefit of moving into the cloud means actually, that if you guys actually see, yeah, first of all, yeah, before going into the topic, actually best topic, I want to tell actually what is meant by the cloud computing actually. The cloud computing is nothing but actually it's a delivery of computing services, which includes servers, storage, the databases, networking, software, analytics, and intelligence over the internet actually, to offer some faster innovations and flexible resources and economics of scale actually. Okay, and one more thing is actually, since in the golden days we have been use this DAC service, and now the organization are moving to the newer age called cloud means actually they can store their data without any tension of infrastructure. Yeah, yeah. For example, my organization data increased to 15 GB means actually, but I have 10 GB in DAC server only means actually, no need to worry that that tension won't be there, yeah, for me in the cloud services actually, because if my storage is getting increased means actually I can choose an auto scaling option in my VM or somewhere to store it, or database can or in some databases to store the data actually. Okay, so instead of giving actually, and some places if you see actually I need to use, instead of 10, I have some 10 GB of capacity DAC server, but I am using 1 or 2 GB, but the maintenance cost and technical cost will be the same actually. Okay, so in that case if you see actually we can move the organizations actually, typically if they do use the cloud services, they only paying for the whatever services they are leveraging actually. Okay, so they're not uh, paying it for the entire infrastructure costs and all actually. So this is the first point of benefit. And next point of benefit is actually, yeah, if you see from when compared to the on-prem, security in cloud-based servers or databases actually you can expect a 99.99% of security, which is less which is more when compared to the on-prem servers. On-prem servers can be easily hacked by known networking persons as well, but in the cloud servers actually it's not that much easy in very particular cloud organization like Microsoft or AWS or Google, like that actually. So they have some predefined protocols to save these services or data inside these services of our particular person actually, or the particular organization. So so one person can't go inside and um, hack, yeah, all of your data in the servers actually of the cloud. Okay, this is one thing. And then actually infrastructure, yeah, as I told actually, if I use the cloud services for my entire organization to storing my data, or if I want to make use of some servers or virtual machines means actually I no need to worry about the space actually. Instead I can connect to my cloud account and I can make use of those services actually. Okay, and then actually costing means actually if you see, typically I'm going to, if I am using two TB space of database to store in that in the particular database means actually. So I can pay only for the 2 TB of costing for them actually, but not the entire thing actually, which I have which I have been which the mistake which I have been doing in the non-prem servers actually. Okay, so this is a definition of the cloud computing actually, and which the cloud computing not only um, yeah, yeah, helps you to reduce your in the infrastructure space, but it also helps your organization to run the organization to runs by lowering your operating cost and your infrastructure, and you're more efficiently, and I can tell as your business needs change as well actually. Okay, and some of the cloud computing concepts are compute, storage, networking actually. Okay, compute, storage, networking, and analytics. What do you mean by compute power actually? Okay, we have some variety of servers in the cloud based arena, like Linux or Ubuntu, Windows, Red Hat, actually Fedora, actually like that. This is Fedora, Linux, and all will come under the flavor of Linux only. But actually, still I can get some variety of storages and variety of RAM, memory, and then actually and variety of uh, CPU cores and all in my cloud computing, which is not possible in my real on-prem servers, which is a static one actually. Okay, and if you see for the storage, we can store lot of data in the form of databases, or in the form of files, or in the form of blob storage, etc actually. Okay, so this kind of storage is variety of storages are available in the cloud, which is we are lagging in our on-prem databases. And then if you see in the networking, we have a secure connections between the cloud provider and your company actually. Okay, but if you see actually in on-prem, actually this networking and this thing will be an annual job, and it has been taken care of, and the cost also will go accordingly. But now if you see in cloud computing, it has been managed by your cloud providers itself actually. And next week actually, if you see in analytics, if I want to see any performance of my servers, or if I want to know how much database, how much data has been stored in my cloud database, and that kind of information I can, they have some analytics tools in the with the some cloud based providers, that and all can be given under the analytics. But this type of features and all will be lagging in my non-prem servers actually. We can't able to see any analytics or something. But actually in cloud based the providers are very much supporting in providing the analytics, database data is dumping a lot, and which web server has some very high traffic, and based upon that actually to improve our the services also, they can recommend us some points to enhance the security and performance of your servers and databases actually. Okay, and then if you see next point, explore key cloud concepts. What are the key cloud concepts? This 10 things are the some of the um, key cloud concepts actually, yeah, which you have been using it in our organization, like a high availability, fault tolerance, scalability, elasticity, global reach, customer latency capabilities, agility, predictive cost considerations, disaster recovery, and security. Okay, if you see the points which I have been mentioned here, high availability. My server, which is in my Azure or AWS or GCP, will be a high availability one actually. So it can reachable to the cloud by 99.99% of SLA actually. Okay, and then it can be scalable actually. If my servers memory is very low and it's not matching my the traffic which is incoming, means that my server can be auto scalable according to the option which you provided during my creation of that particular server actually. Now, not only the server, databases and everything actually. And then global reach, your server can be placed in any part of the world actually, in the availability zones, and any regions as well actually. So then there will be no lag in your leaving your application from any point of the world, and it will have a global reach as well actually. And if you see disaster recovery, all your servers are backed up by the particular cloud providers to enhance the security, that your backups are always ready when there is a disaster in your organization. expectation or place like that actually. Okay, and then actually nudgility. If you see nudgility and fault tolerance actually, nudgility of your cloud service will be very high when compared to the on-prem services, and fault tolerance also will be it's very very low actually when compared to your on-prem services. And elasticity, if you see actually it your services which we are preparing in your or developing in your cloud t- providers will be much given in their electricity power to withstand any type of traffics, etc. And then actually it's a critical cost consideration. For example, if I have a project, I want to know what how much the cost will be for the particular cloud the, the particular cloud the cloud services, and I need to give some estimations to my client as well means actually. So I can use the calculators which are available in the websites of particular cloud providers, and I can give some critical cost considerations to my client actually. And then security. If you see security, all these servers and all these services which are present inside a particular cloud provider like Azure will be secured by the some protocols which has been designed by that cloud provider actually called Azure. And then actually if you see in Azure actually if you take a particular in the cloud provider of Microsoft is Azure, and then if you see the Azure has zero trust policy for security has been implemented in all of his services, so that whatever services or the which you have been creating inside in Azure will follow all security protocols to keep your data and your yeah, servers in a very well protected manner actually. Okay, and then if you see you are actually it's been already told that in economics of scale that cloud providers which can reduce the cost and gain efficiency when operating at a large scale actually. Okay, and then actually if you see we need to compare these things with capex and opex. Capex means capital expenditure, and operational uh, expenditure actually. If you see for capex actually a high upfront cost value of investment reduces over time if used in cloud services. But for operational expenditure, if you see we need to spend on service or product as we needed, but that also actually it will be considered for a young how much time you have been used actually. And if you see actually in this operation expenditure we can use some options like no upfront cost or pay as you go also to make our services actually and costings efficiently on them actually. Okay, and then actually if you see consumption based model. What is my consumption based model actually? Whatever services or whatever storage I am acquiring from my or taking from my cloud based providers for that particular for a particular period of time, how much storage and how much servers I'm taking, that alone actually I will be paying actually for my cloud providers. Apart from that actually I won't be paying any and actually apart from that actually they are not going to pay anything as much to our cloud providers actually. Okay, then if you're going to see about different types of cloud models, we have three different types of cloud models like public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud actually. Okay, what is my public cloud actually? Public cloud is nothing but actually it is a cloud which is known by some cloud providers actually, and it actually also provides like public cloud is nothing but you can take as an example of Azure, AWS, and GCP actually. They are called the uh, public cloud providers actually, and they have some secure network connection to connect to them, and they also have services which are widely spread so that the organizations who are approaching this public cloud providers can be utilize those services and paying as per their consumption actually. And they also if you take Azure, for if I am taking a Azure subscription for a particular organization, means actually I can create a Azure active directory for that particular organization, and I can add the employees of that the organization to my Azure AD, and that employees who are all added to that Azure AD can access n number of services actually, which are provided by the Azure as per that project needs actually. So this is called a public cloud, where public cloud details of a particular organization is not visible to another organization who are using the same public cloud. So this kind of security features and all we have in our public cloud actually. Okay, and then if you see the private cloud actually, private cloud is nothing but actually a separate organization who creates a separate cloud environment from the data center itself actually. For example, they have their own cloud portal, where they can log in and store the data to the or the data centers which is present in their data centers, which are present in the um, which are present in the organizations actually. Okay, and then actually this private cloud actually is only responsible for operating this services that particular organization is giving, and and moreover maintenance of this private cloud will be done by their but a particular will be maintained by the particular organization itself, and they will be responsible for their security things also. And if you see, next we are going to see about in hybrid one. uh, yes, sorry for the gap. And next we are going to say about in hybrid cloud. The hybrid cloud is nothing but the combination of the public and private clouds, which will allow the applications to run in the most appropriate location actually. Yeah, if you see, yeah, in this case actually, uh, yeah, if you see in this case actually, um, yeah, we can use the private clouds and public clouds. Yeah, for example actually, some data of my organization has to reside in private cloud, but some data can be moved to public cloud to do some ML based operations, or if I want to leverage some services which in terms of the AI or ML like that, the whichever data which requires can be in the data center, and some data can be moved to the public cloud center to leverage the services of them to make the things in a better way actually. So these are the types of cloud services we have in our cloud computings actually: public, private, and in hybrid actually. Okay, so if you see, compare these cloud models actually. For example, if you see in public cloud, we have three things like no capital expenditures to scale up. Applications can be quickly provisioned and deprovisioned. Organization pay only for what they use. If you see from these three points actually, yeah, if you see these three points only in the organizations, if you see actually, then this capital expenditures can be scaled up, and then actually yeah, there is no any chance of the capital expenditure of our organization can be scaled up. And if you want to create any applications in particular service of your cloud computing means actually they can be easily provisioned and they can be easily decommissioned as well actually. And moreover, the most important thing is whatever services for how many days or for how many hours you are consuming, that only will be paid by your organizations to that particular public cloud providers. And then if you see a private cloud means actually the organizations can have the full control control over the resources what all they are being using, and they also have the full control over the security, which two things these two things are will be lacking in the public cloud, because these two things will be controlled by the public cloud provider only, but they won't be but the services which are used by one organization will not be visible to the other organization. So that kind of security or assurance they can give to us. And then if you see in the hybrid cloud is most flexible, and the organizations, as I told actually, whichever data has to be stored in my local data center, whichever data I need to central cloud, that kind of decision they can determine to where when applications can run either in the public or in the private form actually. And then if you see the organizations can control security compliance or legal requirements as well. These are the types of the cloud models, and they, and this is the comparison between them. And if you see, we have some types of cloud services actually, and there is a difference between the cloud models and the cloud services. Cloud models means private, public, and hybrid. And then if you see cloud services, they are based upon they are classified into three types, like infrastructure as a service, um, mm, platform as a service, and then software as a service actually, IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS actually. Okay. First you will see one by one, and then we'll come back to this diagram, so yeah, so that you can understand in a better way. Okay, what is infrastructure as a service? For example, in a particular cloud providers, actually, we can rent some servers, virtual machines, storage, and networks and operations from a cloud provider, and build pay as you go IT infrastructure. Okay, in these things, if we can have inclusion of networking, firewall security, servers and storage, and data center, physical plant and building will come as the infrastructure as a service in particular cloud providers like Azure actually. And then if you see define what is my platform as a service means, actually they have some tools or development tools actually which can be used along with our servers or storage actually, with some infrastructure as services, and then an operating system which needs to be run in the servers which are running in as an infrastructure as a service. So these softwares or operating system which are considered to be a part of a cloud provider can be considered as a platform as a service. For example, provides an environment for building, testing, and deploying software application without focusing on managing underlying infrastructure. This is called as a platform as a service. And then if you see, next comes the software as a solution, where the hosted application apps actually, and Microsoft Office 365, everything will be considered as a software as a service. And this kind of applications also can be leveraged by from our cloud based providers actually. So these three are the major services actually, which have been used in the any cloud computing concepts actually. And moreover, if you're using AWS or Azure or GCP, these things are will lie as a common members, and they can be leveraged automatically actually from their cloud ecosystem. And so these three are the major services. IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS are the three major services of this the cloud computing, uh, and they are the cloud services. If you compare these three things actually, what is my IaaS? The IaaS can be a most flexible cloud service. You can configure and manage your hardware for your application, but where in past we can focus only on application development, and platform management is handled by the cloud provider. But if you as a software as a service, pay as you go, you can have a pay as you go pricing model, and users pay for the software what they have been used on a subscription based model actually. These are a comparison of your cloud services. Now if you see this uh, a particular shared responsibility model diagram, you can understand on which things they are being thinking. If you see in the on premises, which is considered as a private cloud, have data access, applications, runtime, operating system, virtual machine, everything you need to manage actually. Okay, the blocks with the green color are considered as which services you need to manage, and the block with blue color tells you which will be managed by a cloud provider actually. So if you see here, yeah, in your on-premises private cloud actually, all these things will be maintained by yourself for a particular organization. Yeah, but you go as an infrastructure as a service. If you see, only data and access, applications, runtime, operating system, and virtual machine will be taken care by us, and but the compute, networking, and storage will be taken care by the cloud provider persons. And then if you say a platform as a service, data access and applications will be taken care by the organization, but rest of the things will be taken care like runtime, operating system, virtual machine, compute, networking, and storage will be taken care by our online by online cloud providers. And then as a software service, all the services except data and access will has to be maintained by the particular organization. In rest of the things will be maintained by our cloud providers. Oh, so this is the shared responsibility model of our cloud services, IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS actually. Okay, so and then actually, yeah, with this the theory thought was over, and then I will be showing you public cloud provider called Azure. I will explore their entire portal, and I will show you how to create their virtual machine young as well actually. Okay, so till now, if you guys have any doubt means actually you can raise your questions in the chat window actually. Any questions, guys, till now? Okay, fine. Actually, then we will go to the demo part. Actually, first of all, actually, this is the um, URL for the Azure portal, which will ask you a username and password to uh, enter the portal. Okay. Okay, if you see here, they have some major things we need to see it here in this portal actually. If you see, this is the Azure portal which have the list of menu here actually, which creates what are the services we have in this Azure portal, and what are the dashboards we have been created, and like that and all we can see it here actually. And if we have a Azure CLI or Cloud Shell, and we also have a directory subscription part. What is this with directory subscription part? It will show you just your default directory and what's your domain and your the story things, what subscriptions you have been using and all actually. And if you see here actually, it will show how to switch your directories as well actually in this part. And then this del button will show what are the notifications we are getting from your portal, or creation of your services, or any issues in your services will be captured here actually. And then actually in these settings actually you can change we can change your how your startup views should be, how is your language and region, my information, these things only will be seen here actually. And then if you see in the question mark actually is nothing but your help center, which will ask if you have any doubts or anything happening in your Azure service, you can ask our Azure community, and we can also have some links to explore our Azure documentation, and how the building is happening for your subscription. That kind of frequently asked questions and quick answers also will be available. Apart from this, we have our 24 bars on yeah, Dell Plus support in Microsoft officials will be available to clarify your needs based upon raising the tickets to them actually. Okay, and yeah, this is a basic overall view of your Azure portal. And then yeah, if you see here, now you are going to create a virtual missions by creating some which will be deciding in a Azure group. Yeah, before that I will show you what is the subscription, how the cost of subscription. If you see here, I have a Azure Pass membership, so that is my subscription name actually. Yeah, so that actually I can, if you take this particular subscription, I can see how much cost I have actually, and how much things I have been utilized till now. If I go for cost analysis, I can see how much cost I have been consumed. Yeah, the till now actually for this particular subscription. Okay, it will take some time to load the jargons. Okay, fine. For the Azure Pass subscription, it won't be available, but for pay as you go subscriptions, actually, you can see your the costing and all here actually. Okay, so based upon this, actually, your you can plan your budgets, and you can also plan. I can see which particular service is consuming how much amount of money, and they also we can see how much days it has been operating. Based upon that, this tool or this subscription services, you can plan a better budget for your organization or for your clients as well actually. Okay, so now I'm going to create a virtual machine. For before doing it, actually I'm going to create another resource group. This subscription will be Azure Pass sponsorship. And if I zoom, if I can resource group at AZ workshop 2, and then actually region I can go for a Indian region something. And your service cost will depend on your regions as well, which I will I will tell you later actually. Okay, usually the US based servers will be very less cost, whereas the Southeast based servers will have a very high cost actually. Okay, and I don't think so. I'm seeing India, Asia Pacific is Central India is there. Then next tag is nothing but you can put any tags of who is this resource group owned and who are maintaining it actually, and then I can create the particular resource group. Okay, Azure Workshop 2 is my resource group got created, and under this I'm going to create a virtual machine. So virtual machine, we have two types of virtual machines here. One is virtual machine runs on Windows operating system, and we have I think another one which runs on a Linux based operating system with some flavors of Linux like Red Hat, Ubuntu, CentOS, etc. Actually, but I am going to create Linux based operating system here with some uh, with Ubuntu as their operating system actually. Okay, if you see here, I clicked as a create, and I am choosing the resource group which I created, and I'm giving the virtual machine name as a AZ Workshop VM Linux. Yeah, I need to copy this name so that I can provide the same for admin user also. Then if you see, I created it, and I can see, you can see here for different. You can see all the sizes of a VM which will be optimal for you based upon your need. Actually, you can choose a particular VM here actually. Okay, but if you see, I am since it's a for demo purpose, I'm going for a basic model, and I want to make my authentication using my passwords. So giving my password, and my inbound board will be 22 to 2D SSH actually. So once all my things are completed, and I can able to create, and it will also show for per hour how much uh, money I need to pay if I use my this particular collected virtual machine. Okay, so I need to pay 1,000 rupees per hour actually, which is a very low cost. We have a maximum of 50 rupees to 60 rupees per day per day per hour virtual machines as well, which will be very powerful in the computation, storage, and memory as well actually. Okay, so I'm creating it. So within this, yeah, 1 hour I am if I delete this VM means only 1,000 rupees will be consumed by the Microsoft actually from my subscription. Okay, so whenever you're using the services, actually you also need to delete those services after you have been completing with the works, like, yeah, for example, yeah, if you have a project and that project has been completed, and you also taken all the backups actually from your servers and all, but still your servers are running, means, or your servers in active state, means please turn off those servers, and keep them aside, or else actually please delete those servers, since you have taken the backup based upon the situation, and delete all the associated services, like static public IP, disk of a particular VM, and to get this 0 rupees cost from those servers. So please keep in mind these things. Actually, either you need to turn off your servers or services, yeah, after your usage for a particular time, or you need to delete those services to stop the loss of money based from the cloud providers actually. Okay, so if I'm going here, I have created a Linux VM. If you see here, I have the public IP and everything. I am showing you how to connect to this VM. And yeah, for this you need a SSH or putty. I will go for the putty. Using your public IP, we can connect to this VM. Sorry, I might have made a mistake. Given this as my username, so I can take this itself as it is. See, my DM got connected actually. So like this, I already, as I told, I created a Linux VM and I shown you. I can, if my session is getting over, I can actually close this session, and since my work also got over, I need to stop this VM. If you want, you can preserve this static IP, so you can preserve this static public IP address actually, which will give you extra cost, but not very high as beyond the down rupees actually. Okay, so it's my personal recommendation to preserve your public IP address, because if you're doing some deployments, or if you're doing some um if you're doing some uh, yeah, what to tell, deployments, or if you're developing some APIs and which needs to access our other service, or this public IP subject, they are designing this public IP and address will be a useful one actually. So I'm stopped to my VM, and I since I completed work in this VM, I have stopped it, which would not incur much money apart from the storage devices and the resolved public IP address. But if that also I do no need, means actually I can delete this VM, which will ask you apply force delete, and it will ask you actually whether I need to delete network and public IP to address of this particular VM which are associated to it is actually. Okay, so I will give all the things, and I am going to delete this VM. Okay, it will start deleting it. After the DM got stopped actually, it will be deleting it as well actually, if you see here. So this is why we need to create a DM in Azure. The same steps we need. You can follow it for the Windows VM, but for the Windows VM, instead of using the SSH, you need to use an RDP to connect to the Windows VM actually. Okay, yeah, that's all from my side for this day particular session. I hope so you have been enjoyed this session actually, and you also actually learn some basics and how to create the VM, how to delete the VM, how to start the VM, and then actually also you have been clear with your cloud-based concepts like cloud services. What are the types of cloud services we have? Young lot of the the lot of the um, cloud models we have, and what are the difference between them, and which one need to use for which things and all. You might have learned. I hope so. I hope so. This session was been an interesting session among you guys actually. Yeah, thank you so much. Garun, you are there actually. Yeah, if you have any guys, doubt means actually you can ask me now in the chat window actually. Garun, you are there. Hello. Hello. Okay, I hope so. No one has a doubt as of now, actually. So I am actually living this life. Thank you so much, Azure Developer Community, for providing me this opportunity, and they also and thank you for them to sharing my experience with the participants here. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Bye bye until see you in next session of mine. Actually, thank you so much. Bye bye.